What's up, ladies and gentlemen, B-boys, B-girls, breakers from all around the world. This is Tydal. Welcome back to the Decypher Podcast. We got Benji B, we got G-cleff on the couch today. Guys, please introduce yourselves.
Benji B, the number one host of Decypher, the funniest, the coolest, the most pretty. Come on. G-cleff.
What up, what up? My name is Geraldina, aka B-girl G-cleff, representing Flowtality.
Flowtality!
Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we get into it, we want to do a big shout out to I Won It Yesterday. They have let us back into the space. Doors are open, so we come out flying.
Business, baby.
That's right. Another shout out to Oz Breaking. Thank you very much for leading the scene and sending all of our athletes, our dancers overseas and providing opportunities for the rest of the country.
Yeah, because if you still don't know, breaking is in the Olympics and it's coming up real quick.
What?
Figure it out. Come on.
That's right. Breaking is in the Olympics. If you didn't know, now you know. Last one is a big shout out to WDSF, aka Breaking for Gold, for running the flag for us and being the spearhead of the breaking community with breaking going into the Olympics. Hey, Benji, what time is it?
I'll tell you what time it is. It's actually time for quickfire.
Oh, shit.
So just to run you through quickfire is just a bunch of questions.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, sorry, I digress.
Man, all that intro for nothing.
I
Come
know,
on, bro.
I know. But what I wanted to do is, Geraldina, please let us know what you're wearing because it's very fresh. Talk to me about the sneakers
thank
first.
you. Fit check,
Tell
fit
me
check.
about the sneakers.
Fit check.
Give
Well,
me a little squeeze on the camera. Show us the sneaker. A little bit.
Crep check. Wow.
Yes,
There'll be like a
just,
zoom in effect.
Periscope Bell dunks, you know,
Oh, sorry.
keeping them nice and clean for special occasions such as today.
Bell, an amazing dancer from New Zealand who is actually leading the choreography scene. She's worked with people like Rihanna. Not sure about who else she's worked with.
So many. Okay.
A lot of people. She's a G.
She's killing it.
The
She's
royal
killing it.
family.
Yeah.
They are the leaders of the choreography scene.
Shout out to her.
Is it that or is
got
it
NZ on her back.
crowns up.
It's like that? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. What else you wearing?
I've got my Flowtality necklace.
Wow.
I don't know if you can do a zoom in on that.
You guys have everything.
I'm looking fly. And then I've got this shirt. It says the choice is yours. It's a Korean streetwear brand called Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Dirt?
Yeah, Dirt. I found it when I was in Vietnam.
Cute.
They had a stall at Radical Force there. And
Mad.
I just saw it. I was like, this is fresh.
And you've also got a hat going on.
I do have a hat here. This is a mad hat.
Mad
A mad hat.
hat.
Yeah, just something cool I picked up in Shanghai.
And what about the pants? What pants are you wearing? What brand?
Puma.
Oh,
Yeah.
switch up.
Oh, is that how we do? We wear Puma and Nike at the same time?
Yeah, doing a bit of a hip hop crime right now. Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Of course.
I'm a B-boy. Of course I'd like to wear all the same brands and get mad at it when someone else doesn't do it.
Hip hop crime.
Yeah.
Benji, what you wearing today?
I'm actually wearing Carhartt. Where's my camera? That's my camera. Shit, man. It's like I've never been on a podcast before. I'm wearing Carhartt overalls. I've had these for ages. And every time I put them on, I'm like, damn, is it too small for me? I've also got a Carhartt. It's actually a dog collar. Yeah. My homie Benji gifted it to me.
Benji is his dog.
Benji is my dog's name. So I'm wearing his collar. Just a little bit of pop of color.
And what sneaker you got on?
My
What's the
sneakers,
creps?
you got Boosh.
Ooh.
Boosh.
Air up tempos.
Boosh. Air up tempos. Kind of look like Timberland, but they're not. They're actually like fresh up tempos.
Very fresh.
Ty, let us know.
Thanks for asking. I've actually got a vest on. Butter. This is
Pete
my
made
birthday
this
vest.
segment
Ooh.
This is my
purely so he
birthday
could show off
vest.
his birthday.
It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and actually my partner picked it out for me. Very, very good
Happy
choice. It
belated
was a little bit
birthday.
out of my comfort zone, but I'm vibing it now.
Yeah.
So I got butter on top. Then I've got X large pants underneath. They sent me these last
Shout
year.
out to X large.
Big shout out to X large. Also got the X large belt.
Shit.
I've got the X large. It's X large socks. Bam.
Yeah, sponsored.
And then I've got P6000s.
Yeah.
Oh, fresh.
All black, triple black P6000s with a little bit of 3M on the laces. Anyway, digression. Let's
So I
get
got to
back
do
to
the whole thing.
quick fire.
Quick fire.
Quick marks.
You ready for this?
I think so.
Right. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Puma. Puma. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. I don't really drink soft drinks, but lame. Sorry.
All right. Battle mode, tracksuit or denim?
Ooh, tracksuit.
Ooh, goat dancer, all time.
Dancer. Any type of dancer.
Whatever you feel.
You know what? I'm gonna say Yasmin actually.
Ooh.
She's just
Shout out
fresh.
Yas.
It's just-
Definitely
just
check
doesn't
out
run.
Yasmin. She
Yeah.
Shout out
was
to her.
fire at the Red Bull BC1 World Finals. We'll link
Yeah.
some clips up while we talk about it. She got that steez, she got that finesse, she got that flavor, and she's actually going to be coming to Australia next month, July.
Yeah. So the
Queen.
actual hashtag of Yasmin, her handle
Hand.
will be like right
Here,
here.
bam.
There. If I look at the big screen, the middle one.
Oh,
There.
there,
Yeah, where Ty's hands are.
Yeah.
Hold it up one more time. Boom, Yasmin.
bam.
Sweet as. Next one, training music. What are you listening to?
I like to train to a lot of type of music, break beats, hip hop mainly.
Any DJs in particular? Any mixtapes? I heard that you just rock up to the sessions and go with whatever's playing.
I do like DJ Fleg's mixes. I feel like you can't go wrong with them. Shout out to him.
Nice.
And there's another DJ that I also found some mixes from, DJ Kanfu.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got some
He's
good
from the
ones
UK.
too. Yeah.
Kung Fu. Yeah,
Oh, she
yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
She
So
knows. All
shout
right,
out.
great. It's quick fire. And that answer was way too long for quick fire. What's your favorite music of non-genre breaking music?
hip hop.
Oh,
Rap.
she a purist. All right. This one's cool. This is still quick fire, but it will take a little bit of time. You've got call out, crew, or bite. Who are you calling out? Who are you crewing up with a 2-on-2? And who are you biting off? And this could be in Australia. This could be worldwide. If you know some aliens, some other like celestial race, could be that too. So yeah,
The first one's call out.
Yep.
call out. Who are you calling out right now?
Anytime, any place, any era.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, for call out, I'm going to call out someone local, actually. I'll call out Paulina because I know that she's been itching for a proper battle with me. And
shit,
yeah, that would be cool.
Paulina. Hey, it's Australian battle
AKA
season coming up real
AKA
soon.
Riot.
AKA Riot. She my
About
girl.
to start a riot. Yeah,
That's
anyone know that
right.
song?
Love you, bye.
G-cleffs,
Yeah.
Riot, Flowtality, Breaking Borders. Ooh, it's
Hey, I want to
on.
film that. All right, we're gonna meet in the car park. We'll set up some vinyl.
Yeah.
Take it back to the street.
And next, who would you crew up with for a 2-on-2 battle? Can be anyone.
Yeah.
Not even your crew. Can be anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
But they got laws within their crew. They're actually not allowed to battle with other people.
Yeah, no. Let's say
Ain't that right?
I would love to battle with, and I'm going to do another local because I think that I just want to. I would love to battle with someone like maybe Mags as one of the B-girls.
Oh,
Oh.
sick.
Yeah, I think like
you guys
maybe we
be a
would
good
be like
matchup.
a cool
Team
matchup.
Cream.
Yeah,
Mags.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually would be.
I really like her style.
Yeah, that Latino flavor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you ain't even Latino.
What's your ethnicity? Philo and Croatian.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. For
I
the
know
longest
it.
time, like I've known G-cleffs Dina for years.
Yeah.
Like we were like probably fresh out of high school, and I thought she was a Latina for the longest time.
Yeah.
I find out she's actually half filo, like me.
Yeah.
And
All right.
what's the other half?
Yes, I know my ethnicity has been up for
Ambiguous,
debate
to
by
say
a
the
lot of
least.
people. But yeah, so I'm actually half Filipino and I'm quarter Italian and quarter Ukrainian. So a bit of a fruit salad mix.
Philo,
Hey,
Ukrainian,
salad.
Yeah,
Italian.
very random
Mad.
mix. But
That's a good
yeah.
mix. We
Sweet.
digress. Last one.
Bite. Who are you biting?
Ooh. I would just bite Yasmin because she's just cool. She's just fresh. Her moves.
Bite her.
Yes, I would love to.
Anyway, cool. So that's our call out crew bite. Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Now let's get into your origin story. Geraldina, aka G-cleff, Dina.
And the way we're gonna do this is
Are you a superhero or a villain in your story?
Ooh. Superhero or villain? I'm going to call myself a superhero in my own personal story. Not to toot my own horn,
Superwoman.
but yeah, I would say that I'm a superhero in my personal story.
Awesome. Why is that?
I say that because and I'll probably get into this maybe at some point, but I took a long time off breaking. I was kind of MIA from the scene. Like those who know. I think I just was like off the radar for a bit. And
in your training arc.
Yeah, like I wasn't breaking for a long time. I've always been like around dance, but I stopped training and breaking for probably about almost a decade.
Wow.
It's pretty long.
How old were you when you started breaking?
I'm going to say about 11, 12 years old.
How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26, 11. Wow, so 15 years ago. And then how long were you breaking until you stopped?
I want to say maybe up until around 15.
And then when did you start breaking again? Because I remember there was, like a big gap.
I just was not present. Yeah. I think my first battle back was Destructive Steps 2022.
Okay, so only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a big deal for me. So I guess like,
and now you're traveling overseas at WDSF competitions.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Sorry. Yeah, it's honestly insane. So yeah, I would say because of that, like that, little comeback of mine, and I had, little small health issues in the meantime as well. So like trying to overcome that. Yeah, superhero.
Hey, that's that divine timing, right? Like you came back at the perfect time to like catch the wave into OQS,
definitely.
WDSF,
definitely,
potentially Olympics,
right place, right time.
Yeah, and that was not the intention. It just like
was the universe.
Literally just how it happened. So
how did you start breaking then?
So I've always been into dance growing up. I was dancing from a very young age. I want to say maybe like 10. Started off with, like hip hop choreography. And I was at a particular dance studio at the time. And one of the times I was doing like a kids showcase thing for the dance studio. And I saw some breakers there that were also going to be
who were they? Do you remember?
I can't remember who they were. I didn't know who they were at the time, but I think they were friends of the studio.
Do you reckon it would have been SKB? Because that's like your area, right?
I don't think it was them, but I did meet them when I did start breaking. Yeah, I just saw some breakers and I was like, what is this? This is really cool. So that was probably the first time I saw breaking and was exposed to it. And then there was a breaking teacher at the studio that I was going to. So then I started. It's not around anymore, I don't think, but it was called Dance to Music at the time. I think, it was based in about North Parramatta area, I think, at the time. And there was a breaking teacher there. So then I was like, I'm going to join this class. My mom like, can you put me in? And the breaking teacher at the time, his name was JP. He was actually in Juice Crew.
JP,
I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if he's around anymore. It was like, this is way back when.
We'll pull it up. We'll see if we can find some.
Did you actually
very
have a JP
first.
in there?
We'll pull up some footage.
No. So he was my very, very first teacher.
Big shout out, JP.
So thank you.
Did a good job.
Yeah.
G-cleffs on the couch now.
So
10,
JP,
15 years later.
Yeah. So JP is a teacher that like found their way in front of you. Who is like your first teacher that you chose to be your teacher? You know how everyone kind of goes down that path and they're just kind of like, you know what, I want to learn from you. Do you have one?
I wouldn't say it was like one specific person. So when I like was starting to get more and more into breaking, so funny story, my sister was actually, she was kind of grew up at the same time as the SKB guys and Zealous, and she's kind of, knew a couple of them through mutual friends. So she brought me to Parramatta PCYC. If you know, that was the spot to be. I wish was still around, RIP, that place. But yeah, I was brought to that place and I met SKB there. I would say
Street Culture Breakers, the OGs from Parramatta. Big shout out to those guys.
Shout out to them. Yeah, I would say a lot of them were a big help. People that come to mind were like Watto. Like he helped me with a lot of things when I was really young. like even
The only
seeing
white
Don
guy.
there. Yeah.
Only white
SKB.
guy in SKB. The rest are Filipino or Asian, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
but
you got Baba. Oh no, Baba's Asian.
Yeah.
My bad.
Sorry.
it counts.
Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just say like anyone there would be helpful, but I would say it was also hard being like the only girl there.
Yeah.
I was very
Yeah,
shy
yeah,
growing
definitely.
up, very, very shy. So it was a bit hard for me when I first started to ask for help. But I would say, you know, those older generation that was there, they were a big help. But then also my crew, you know, the friends that I made that ended up becoming my crew,
Flowtality.
Flowtality, because we were all sort of learning together. We kind of just helped each other at the
Did
same
you guys
time.
go to school together?
No, we just, it's funny. I'm like, how did I actually meet these guys? But it was just through just
Blacktown B-boys. and
Blacktown
B-girls.
scene. But I would say it was through PCYC. I think I might have met Laura Gerard first, one of them. Yeah. And then from one person, you just meet another.
Yeah.
And then it was just a whole community of young breakers that would just come every Friday.
So then
Trainer.
after, I guess, SKB, then you got Flowtality. From there, for you, who was your biggest influence in your breaking that's helped you develop to become the breaker that you are today?
Do you mean influence like here in Australia, or like just someone you've watched videos to?
Either. It's totally up to you.
I feel like I've just drawn from a lot of people. I wouldn't really say there's just one single person. Yeah.
Any idols that you looked up to in terms of like footage or style preference, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I was young, I didn't really know too many B-girls at the time. And I guess, yeah, obviously there's way more now.
Heaps now.
There was a B-girl Bonita. Do you guys remember her?
Yeah. Rocksteady
She
crew.
was like one of the ones that probably only the ones that I knew of internationally at the time, because I was quite young and I was like, she's so cool.
Yeah, she's
But
fresh.
also actually,
YouTube days.
yeah,
She's actually been here.
yeah.
Yeah.
She
I think
was
for
here.
Platform.
It was, there was a battle ages ago. I remember that she was at, and I was like, oh my God, she's here. But also, you know what? Even seeing Demi on So You Think You Can Dance, actually,
True.
that was a big
What
impact
was
on
her
me.
breaking name?
Demolition, I believe.
Hey.
Yeah, shout out.
Demolition.
So she definitely had an impact on me, because, you want to see, yourself represented.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And especially like her, I think she's Filipino as well,
She
right?
is, yes.
Filipina, and one of the older generation B girls really leading the scene, especially in such a male dominated culture.
Exactly.
It's really important to see those role models for people like yourself. And now you get to be that person. How cool is that?
It's full circle.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
why
awesome.
You're a superhero in your story.
And that's why I'm a superhero in my story.
Shit.
Wow. Cool.
That's nice. That's such a wholesome storyline, to be fair. And it's cool because I've seen you grow. Like I've known you
Yeah.
throughout that whole kind of like journey.
Yeah.
And
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Epic.
Epic storyline.
Hey,
Still
Benji.
going. Yo.
What time is it?
Sip the juice. I got enough to go around. It's the next segment of our show. And it's basically just the main part. It's just where we talk more shit.
One of the major reasons, obviously, we brought you here because we want to share your story. And a part of your story is actually now, since the Oceania Championship, you came in the top four. What was your placing in that? Oceania?
I came fourth in Oceania. Yeah.
In Oceania, in the B-girl category. So what that meant was that you had qualified for the Olympic qualifier series,
Yes.
which would possibly and hopefully get you a spot for the Olympic Games, right? Because the first two, the winners, we got Ray Gunn. She qualified for the Olympic Games for the B-girls. And then we've got J Attack, Chef. He's qualified for the Olympic Games to represent the B-boys. One of the first, both of them, they are the first Australian breakers to go to the Olympic Games. And there's only 16 slots in the whole world for each category, 16 males, 16 females. So the competition is really, really tough. And now, for those that ranked within the top four, so outside of first place, so you've got Holy Molly, you've got Hannah, you've got yourself representing the B-girls, and then on the B-boys side, we've got Duke, we've got Benemax, and we've got Kid Tech. And the six of you have been traveling and are still traveling across the seas over to the Olympic qualifier
Was
series.
it Shanghai? You just came back from Shanghai.
The most recent one was Shanghai to hopefully get another slot at the Olympic Games. Now, Shanghai, a couple of weeks ago, you're fresh off the plane. Tell us about it.
Man, it was just unbelievable. It was such a cool setup there. It's almost like you were at like a mini Olympics, but for all the urban sports.
Because they also had BMX and they had skating, right?
Yeah, so it was called the Urban Park. So they had breaking, BMX, sport climbing, and skateboarding. So just really cool to be around that whole atmosphere.
Paint the picture for us. You've walked into the pearly gates of, Shanghai. What did it look like going into this urban section? Because that's what people are going to experience when Paris 2024 comes around, right?
Yeah.
It's not just going to be your classic sports, your javelin, your shot put.
No.
You've got some like horses riding over there. Do you know what I mean? Paint
And
the picture.
They
You
sort of
walked
set
in.
up this epic sort of village type of thing, hey?
Yeah, it's like a mini urban park. If you actually have a look on, I think you can even see on the Olympics Instagram, they have like a drone footage of the actual area. But basically, it's just this massive area that they've set up with like a section for this is where the breaking is, this is where all the other sports are. Everything's very like professional, high standards. We had an athletes club where you can just relax, eat, chill out, snacks, everything provided.
5-star menus.
Nice.
Athlete treatment, awesome.
What is that though?
Yeah.
Like most people don't know what the athlete treatment is, so you can't just
Well, yeah, we get shuttle buses to and from the event. They're constantly coming every like half an hour. They're getting fed. There's like gym facilities even in there. There's a place to practice. Down below, further from everywhere else. There's just so many things that they provide. And it was kind of like, this is going to sound weird, but it was like when I first walked in, I was like at the Easter show or something. It was very lively.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. And like, because
Grand.
people could, from the public could buy tickets, come in. I think like breaking actually sold out as well. So it was
Awesome.
very popular.
I saw
event.
photos of the line.
Yeah.
I'll try to find some photos actually and put some up because there's online you can see the line out the door, out the gates.
Yeah, heaps of people there. Heaps of people. It was such a good vibe.
And did you get to check out any of the other sports like skating or BMX?
Yeah, so even when you're just walking around, you walk past the BMX section and you would just see like someone flipping upside down on their
It's
bike
crazy,
casually.
right? BMX and skating is actually wild.
Yeah, it was super cool. I saw some Aussies there, saw the Aussie skater and one of the Australians doing the BMX as well, which is really cool. Our pass will let us into some of the other sports, which was cool. So we ended up getting to sit in the grandstand for some of the skating while we had some free time and just enjoy that. It was just such a cool setup. Very, very fun. Lots of food stalls everywhere and other just fun things happening around. It was literally almost like being at the Easter show.
Sick. Just to run it back, right? You said that you saw other Australians at the BMX, at the skating. Can you talk a little bit about like what that felt like? Seeing another Australian on foreign soil and you're both like they're in their niche, you're in your niche, but you're both charging for the same thing.
Yeah.
Like what did that feel like,
I was just super excited for them, I would say.
Would you say you were really proud?
Yeah, I would say so. It was just like you kind of just feel that sort of connection because you're so far from home.
Yeah.
And then you see other Aussies there. Everyone's trying their best to secure a spot for Paris, right? So, whenever I would see them on the screen or I'd walk past them, you kind of just give each other a head nod and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just like wholesome to see, other Aussies just doing their thing.
On the flip
sick.
side, that wholesome family, energy that you have with Aussies, what about when you saw competitors from another country?
Well, for me, at least when I saw other breakers, I would say I was more starstruck, if anything, because there were so many superstars that I considered to be there.
Did you get to connect with any of them? Have a chat to anybody?
Yeah, I did. Especially afterwards, I got to speak to Sheku actually. Yeah,
sick.
Really cool dude. Yeah. Shout out to him.
He breaks a lot with Willistrey actually.
Just met a couple of the other breakers.
We'll put Sheku here.
Yeah.
There.
Bam.
Yeah, right there.
Bam.
Cool.
Who else did I meet? I actually met Lil Zoo's coach.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way. You met a coach.
So let's go into this, right? Like you've got coaches from other teams.
Yes.
What were everyone else's, I guess, support network like compared to the Australian support network?
Is it the same? Are we behind? Are we ahead?
Exactly. They got coaches. Do they have like masseuses, physios? Like what kind of extra double staff do they have? And what do we have?
So
Because
just
we obviously
to fill
don't
in,
know.
like people at home as well, like breaking is super new. So we've gone from a art form and a culture where a lot of the time you're training on your own or you're training with your crew. It's not norm, a societal norm, cultural norm to have a coach. You have mentors and you have people that will like chat about your style and what you like and if you align. But coaching is something that's,
However, I would cut in on that because depending on the country that you are from, different countries have different, I would say, structures and things that have built in place to enable them to have those. For example, like countries like Japan and Korea and even China, they have had the level of coaches and mentoring and from a professional standard actually for quite some years because they've built this, not necessarily business, but this ecosystem to be able to support those that are working within the industry as well as to provide opportunities for those that are coming up. And I guess what we want to talk about is like, where's Australia with that? Because in other countries, we may not necessarily have those types of frameworks or structures in place to best support our athletes, right?
Yeah, that's totally right. It was definitely eye-opening, I'd say. There are levels to this shit, like quite literally. I would say since breaking being in the Olympics, it's definitely become more of like a sportified type of vibe. So, now that it's, you've got the potential to be an Olympian and there's all these really intense competitions now, people are taking breaking more seriously and treating it like being an actual athlete. So we very, very much saw that at OQS in Shanghai, especially with countries like Japan, China. They might have 2-3 coaches for their team.
Yeah.
I would see like even the Japanese team, they had like their masseuses there, and when they're like in between battles, they're getting work done to make sure that they're as fresh as possible. Like you saw that with quite a few countries, but the ones I saw the most is Japan, China, even France, even like Canada had coaches. The US had a few coaches that I saw as well. So it's definitely becoming a thing, like if you want to be the best, I think the message is like you need a team of people behind you.
And the other thing is like breaking actually made its debut at the Youth Olympics, I believe in 2018, I think. We'll find out if I'm correct or not.
Fact check.
But from then, so that was our first test within a Olympic sort of realm. And then it was actually announced around 2019 20 that breaking would be within the Olympics amongst the breaking scene. So it wasn't necessarily made public. And there are people that have been preparing that whole time.
Yes.
For example, like Jeff, J-Attack, he decided that when it was announced, he's like, okay, I'm going to go for it. So that's 4 years of prep. And I know they've done their legwork and they've put a lot of time into coaching and that kind of stuff. So what was it for you and how was our team? What did we have accessible to us?
For us here in Australia, the breaking scene, I would say, is relatively small compared to the rest of the world. It's just a fact. We have a smaller scene. So given that we have less resources, everyone's kind of just sort of had to fend for themselves sort of thing. I feel like that's always been
So you had to pay for yourself to go over there?
We are getting covered by, I believe it's WDSF and another local organizing committee. But in terms of other things, in terms of our own preparation, for the most part, we've had to,
do it yourselves.
Train ourselves, go to our own chiros or physios. Unless you've got like a sponsorship, which that in itself is hard to get.
Yeah.
You really have to just
sponsorships hard.
Yeah.
it's hard. So I would say all of us just have to put up with it and just do our best. You know, heads down, bums up, and just train and make it work. Yeah.
It's funny you say that though, because just to stay on it for a little bit, like being in kind of the sport content realm, I've been able to see other sporting codes and how they prepare for the Olympics, what they have going into the Olympics. And it's kind of weird that you see Australia not jumping on and fully backing an Australian team, regardless, even if it was like hopscotch. Do you know what I mean? Like if I ran a country and I was like, yo, I'm sending an Olympic team to do hopscotch, I'm going to make sure they have the best chalk to draw their like, do you know what I mean? So when it comes, it's weird to hear from like people going over there, especially when you brush shoulders with like BMX and skating, like seeing more resources and more funding and more everything.
Yeah.
And then to go like, oh no, it's just breaking.
Yeah. I think it's getting better.
That's me being bitter though, right? You know what I mean?
No,
So-
logically speaking, you would think that, right? I think maybe part of the reason is because breaking is an art form and the arts in Australia in general is probably not as supported in general compared to other industries, I'd say. So it's, you know, in whereas like places like France, they really embrace their government
Definitely.
embraces the
However,
art. Yeah.
I'm going to chime in because this is where Australia needs to put their foot forward. Every other brand out there, whether it's a fashion brand, whether it's X Large, whether it's Butter, whether it's Dickies, whether it's Asics, all you guys, even the like electricity, you've got AGL, you've got computer brands. Breaking is, whether you like it or not, in the Olympics. And if you want to be a part of the wave of popularity, well, it's your time to jump on because our athletes need your help. We need some money. We need some support. Truth be told, this is a great way to be seen and to be supporting a culture and a community that's not going anywhere. And, you know, we think that we're still on the streets and we're on cardboard, pieces of cardboard, but it's definitely changed. The things that we're
100%.
capable of doing now are definitely a lot harder than some of the movements that are even in gymnastics. So if you want to be a part of the wave, it's your time to get on right
on it,
now
guys.
because our people need your support.
So to throw back to G-cleffs, 100% right, Ty. I heard that when you were looking at the Chinese team and you would see the breakers jump in, they had all of the moves lined up on pieces of paper or a whiteboard, and that they would like, as they would dance, the coaches would be like, oh no, let's put this here. And it had their moves.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So they had a team of coaches watching, going like, shh,
Well,
shh,
this
shh,
is
shh.
how much China has invested. This is
Yeah.
what I know. I'm pretty sure they have at least 4 or 5 coaches that they've flown out from other countries. So they've
Correct.
got a couple from, I'm not sure if it's from the States, but there's definitely
Some
a
in
few
Europe.
from Europe.
Yep.
And they're
We saw them
definitely
there.
well-known
Yes.
breakers from the scene that have been living and working in China for the past couple of years to develop the Chinese team. And it's starting to pay off now.
Yeah, it's
because
showing.
it started, I think, last year or the year before, where a couple of Chinese went to some European jams that were some of the biggest events in Europe, and they won. Like, what's his
they were
name?
killing it.
Lything?
Yeah,
Lything?
So what
He
did you
came
see
second
over
at
there? Like,
OQS.
talking about that kind of stuff, right? Dina, what did you see there? It could have been from the Chinese team, could have been from any other. Like, tell me like your favorite things that you saw happening to Olympic teams, Olympic athletes. So you're like, this would be awesome to have for Australia.
Yeah, there was so much, I guess, like support from some of the other countries that like you could see that they had having like a whole team over rather than just flying yourself and your other your teammates. It would be like yourself and your coaches, masseuse. Some of them had like their physios there. Like it was very, very sportified athlete, very professional, serious. But these comps are so intense. So you're putting your body through so much over 2 days. You have to like take care of yourself, and having that team there is very, very, very important. I observed a lot of, even when they came on stage to do their battles, it's almost like a boxing match where you got your coach in the corner.
Yeah.
They're there
Definitely.
and they're shouting stuff at them and probably saying like, oh, do this, do that. You can kind of read their lips a little bit.
Yep.
you can see that they're coaching them on the sidelines, really.
Yeah.
As it's happening, and I guess that's really nice to have.
Did we have anyone like I know we flew over with the team?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys were doing it for each other, but were we backing each other in that sense?
So funnily enough, when I did my prelim, for whatever reason, the computer put all the girls from Australia together.
Damn.
I actually saw
That's
that.
so
So like a day out. Did the computer do that, or did you guys all sign up and put your name down on the paper at the same time?
No.
Because that happens a lot at Gen.
No, there was no such thing like that. It wasn't a regular jam. From what we heard, it was like completely randomized.
Rigged.
Wow.
Rigged.
Wow.
Just happened that way. So when we were backstage, you know, the Australian boys, they were still warming up, trying to get in the zone as well. You know, we had Louis, who's, you know, he's been a great support for us. He's doing a lot, but he's kind of doing everything on his own.
Shout out
so
Louis.
it's,
Big shout out
you know,
to Louis.
he's running or he's breaking.
Holding the torch
holding
solo.
it on his back. Yeah,
That's
so
like Kuya of Australian breaking, to be fair.
yeah, legitimately.
He's not old enough to
He's
be like
Tito.
granddaddy. He's like, oh yeah, he's probably
He's Tito.
Kuya Louis.
Tito, man. He's got a
Louis.
few grey hairs. So yeah, fair.
But yeah, it was very eye opening, I'd say.
So
How
being
was
on
the,
that,
who's gonna speak first?
I'm going. Being on that stage,
That's me.
what was the biggest challenge for you, and what was your greatest experience from that?
You know what? Being on that stage, so I'll just backtrack and say that was my first big international battle that I've done.
Bam! Congratulations,
Thank
good
you.
work.
You know, that was one-on-one. Oh, yeah, one-on-one essentially.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I did Radical earlier in the year, but that was more the crew. I did the 4v4. But doing this
It's different.
is completely different to the regular jams that we would go to.
So
you've got bright
set the
lights.
stage. You've got a massive platform stage.
Yes.
There's big screens in the background. Your name's on one side of the board. Other people's names are on the board as well. Then you've got a full stadium. How many people were in the stadium?
You know, I don't know the number, but it was just full. So, like, there was just heaps of people there.
Hundreds of thousands?
I would say, like, yeah, a couple hundred. It wasn't, you know, a massive room, but it was filling up
Yeah.
heaps.
Yeah.
And yeah, breaking did sell
And
out.
you're there in the
Yeah.
spotlight and you've got to do your round.
Yeah. So
How'd you feel?
I would say that I was trying my best to stay as, you know, cool, calm and collected as possible.
Yep.
I think with it being my first big international battle, though, it probably did, you know, make me feel a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, it can be quite daunting. You know, you got these lights going everywhere, and Max is yelling out your name, G-cleffs, and you know, and you walk up on
Maxi.
stage through this like massive frame thing. Like it was just unbelievable, amazing experience. But yeah, I would say I just need to get more experience with that and keep exposing
Which is always
myself.
hard to do
Yeah.
here, right? Because like
Yeah.
our jams here,
We're so
They're not
far
to
from
that
everyone.
scale,
they're
yeah.
not to that scale. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
even our Olympic qualifier wasn't to that scale. So
No,
to
it was
go
a bit
over
more
there-
intimate, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And breaking has always been like a grassroots kind of experience.
Yeah.
It's like a bit more of an intimate experience, raw experience.
But
So
compared to the rest of the world, it's almost like that. Obviously, that event is one of its own kind, but there are other events around the world that are to that scale.
And they've been
of capacity
going to
of
those events
production
already.
and, you know,
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it just goes to show how far away from the rest of the world we are and how much more
Quite literally.
opportunities we need available for us and for our team to be able to get over to those other competitions so that we can get this experience and actually compete at the same level, right?
Yes.
So now you've
absolutely
seen
right.
all of that,
Yeah.
right? You've seen that and you're like, oh, damn, I want to keep doing this.
Yes.
I need to get better.
Yaps.
I need to throw myself in there more. That leads us to the next question of, you know, as someone coming out of that whole experience, what's next? What are the next steps for yourself in terms, because like the Olympics is right around the corner. There is a chance that you can still go
Yeah,
through because
still
you're heading
one
over
more
to
shot.
Budapest.
Correct.
and
For another OQS, another
OQS. So
Yeah, part two.
What's next?
So part 2 of the OQS is in Budapest.
What do you mean part 2?
So-
Shanghai part 1 and
yes.
Budapest part 2?
Yeah, so it's a 2-part thing that they've put together with the OQS. Part 1 being in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Part 2 being in Budapest.
And is that a point system? So you carry your points from Shanghai over to Budapest?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a mixture of points from different things. So from what we gathered, once we finally, you know, got our heads around it, because it's a bit complicated. So about a third of the points is actually your ranking from other events.
Okay.
So you can't.
So if you haven't
Yeah.
been to the other events, for example, like yourself, if you haven't been to the other WDSF
So I
events,
had a ranking from Oceania.
Oceania,
Yeah.
great.
Yes. So if you actually watch back the live stream, you'll see when they put the athlete's name,
Your
it'll have a
ranking.
ranking next to them, and so
Yeah.
that'll be their current ranking.
That's
as of
crazy,
now.
actually, now
Yeah.
that you say that, because, sorry, it's just clocking on my head. Sorry to cut you off. But, like, so in Oceania, you got points. You were judged and given points by the 12 judges,
Correct.
Yes.
which then puts you in the ranking.
In
and
the
that
world
could have
ranking.
been in the world
Exactly.
ranking.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just,
Crazy.
so as like as a breaker, you're now, instead of battles won, battles lost, you should now be thinking about
Where you are
accumulating
ranked.
world ranking points.
Exactly.
Yeah, for this, yeah, the
Crazy.
points are super important. So yeah, like I said, a third of the points is your current standing in the rankings. Then a third of your points will be from Shanghai. And then a
then
third will be from
Budapest.
Budapest. And then your overall score or your overall, standing, if you're within that top 10, you will get a spot in the Olympics.
Okay,
Feel
so
the
it's
16.
10 males, 10 females
Yes.
from the OQS.
Yeah. The
Or-
catch with that top 10, though, is that there can only be 2 from each country.
So one male, one female.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Or it could be either.
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be
For
two
per
males.
category, yeah. So
That kind of makes sense, though. So it's not like all of America cleans out those
rest of the
OQS
spots.
things, and
Correct.
then you've got like 10 Americans in the Olympics, right?
Yep.
yeah. So
No hate on
for
America,
example,
just
there's all love. There's 3 Japanese B girls currently in the OQS, but only 2 of them can go through. Let's say if
Yep.
they're in the top 10.
Yeah,
So it'll be
Fight to
the
the
2
death.
highest.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how that
Totally.
works. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Basic.
it's definitely a very, very different system to just doing a normal jam and you just win. You know, like there's so many more things you have to consider. So even if you lose a round, you still want to get as many points from per, because there's about 10 judges, I believe. So even the judges that do vote for you, even if you lose that particular round or battle, those points are still adding to your score.
Yeah.
For
Which
the
is
ones that
crazy,
did vote
right?
for you.
'Cause then-
So
Yeah.
you still have to give your best.
So what are you going to
Football,
do differently now that you've come back and you've got a couple of more weeks to prepare? What are you going to do differently from now until the next? So at Budapest, what are you going to do different compared to Shanghai?
I would say that in a competition like this, after experiencing this for the first time in Shanghai, you can't hold back. You really can't hold back. You need to throw all your best shit, and it's not a small scale jam like back home here in Australia. You really want to put your best foot forward. So don't hesitate or try to say, should I save this for later? Put it all out there.
At the end
Because
of
you
the
want to
day,
rank
it's the
as high as
Olympics.
possible. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the
You got to leave
Olympics,
it all
so-
on the table, on
Yeah,
the stage.
so that I would argue that the prelim is probably one of the most important parts of the
Definitely.
comp because
That's
I
the
mean you don't
hardest
make that
round.
you're out already, you know.
Exactly.
So you're giving
Definitely
it your
don't.
all,
I'm gonna just
and then you're training.
give
How
it
does that
my all.
change?
I'm just gonna train as much as possible. I'm putting a schedule together.
Make sure you eat,
replanning,
sleep.
sleeping right,
Don't
getting
get
my
injured.
food right.
We
don't
don't-
get injured.
Yeah.
We
I got-
don't have coaches to plan all that stuff for us, as we just mentioned. So you're going to be focusing more on that, right? Like your scheduling. And all that?
Correct. Yeah. Just putting together a schedule, watching back my rounds, seeing what I should do better. I have the support of my crew as well. You mentioned Kid Tech as well is also doing it. He's also my crewmate, so we can kind of lean on one another and
Definitely.
help each other out as well, which is
I
great.
was chatting
So-
with Tech actually the other day.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting thing. Sorry, I know we're like coming close to time, but it would be interesting to see, because Australia or because breaking doesn't have so many coaches who are specializing in this, business opportunity for people who want to become part of the breaking scene, become a coach if you don't want to break. But I think it could be a thing to bring in different coaches from other sporting codes.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like having a boxing coach to help in terms of stamina wise, in terms of
transferable skills.
Yeah.
That
So
might
that could be a
benefit
cool
us.
thing.
Yeah.
So actually, when I was preparing for Oceania, I did that. I went through that whole process, and I went through a place called Ethos Performance, and they work with a lot of UFC athletes in Australia. So Taito Ivasa, what's his name? Ferocious. Cambosis. He trains out of there.
boxing.
So like
They're gonna
all
say
these
Furious
big
5.
And I think mixed martial arts is probably one of the closest things
I
that's
agree.
related to breaking in terms of your athletic capacity, your power output,
energy
as well
output,
as your energy output,
Even the layering
and your
of
cardiovascular.
the layering
exactly.
of like actually how to do that craft. You've
And
got
actually-
your top rock, so you've got your movement on your feet, and you've
Yeah,
got your
yeah.
groundwork, your grappling, and then your power, which is your throws. And you know, it actually does line up quite
Yeah,
well.
and I actually learned a lot from that experience. So, if you want some coaching, you can hit me up.
That's not where I thought this was gonna go.
Or you can go there, but I'm a b-boy, so I can help you
Cheeky
out.
plug.
Anyway,
I actually want
digress.
Dina to wrap this up.
Yeah, please.
Right.
Any special mentions, Dina?
Yeah. I want to shout out Flowtality first and foremost. Always. You know, I wouldn't be the B-girl I am without them. They definitely helped get me back into breaking again. So shout out to you guys. Love you guys so much. And yeah, my partner Lamona, who's also in Flowtality. I want to shout him out. You know,
Nice.
he's definitely been a big support to me. So I want to shout him out. You know, I'll shout out Louis for doing the absolute most, carrying
sir.
Oz
Si,
breaking on
senor.
his back.
Tito
Yeah.
Louis.
You know, Tito Louis or Kuya Louis. I don't know what you'll prefer. I'll
Salamat
check with you
po.
later. Salamat. Yeah, and just the Australian scene in general, I'd say. I think everyone is just leveling up. I think we are slowly but surely
On our way.
on
Tell
our
it
way.
to the people over there.
You know, we are the underdogs at the moment, but watch out for Australia. We are coming for the rest of the world, and you'll see more of us very, very soon.
And I want you to look down the camera now and say, the choice is yours.
The choice is yours.
You heard it here first.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today with us. We had an amazing chat with G-cleff. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy to be able to see our love and our passion grow and change into something that we never thought possible.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for more. Stay with us for everyone else that we have on the poddy.
We are still telling the stories, and it's so amazing to have you here, Dina, and to go through your experience with you.
Join the Cypher in the comment section. Let us know what you like, what you dislike. If you want to hate on G-cleff, if you want to show love to G-cleff.
If you got beef, Benji ain't vegan.
Nah, or vegetarian. So don't call me out. I'm injured.
One more big shout out to I Want It Yesterday, Oz Breaking for Gold. Big shout out to you, Dina. Thank you so much for your time today. You are an inspiration for the next generation of B-girls. You have done so well for yourself. You should be proud. We are proud of you.
Thank you guys.
Representing Australia on the international stage. This is Benji B. This is Dina. This is Tydal.
Yeah.
We are out. Peace.
Peace.